What's up? Hey, who's here? How you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Let's see. Let's get a little music going while we chat here. How's everybody doing? Where are you tuning in from? Hey, what's up, Il Wafer? How you doing? Good to see you again. Oh, nice. San Diego. Nice. I'm on the West Coast too. Rennie. What's up, Rennie? NM. What is that? New Mexico? Might be off. That's my guess. New Mexico. Welcome. I'm pumped. I think it was last week I was putting the finishing touches on this. Nice. Enjoyed the bass line. Oh, cool. Nice. New Mexico. What's the temperature like in New Mexico? Yeah, I think there was a few bass lines going on in there. Hey, what's up, Maximilian? Nice. Tuning in from the Bay Area. Yeah, glad you could make a live stream here. Nice. Dimitri, New Zealand. Nice. Very cool. Got people from all over. Got some West Coast folks, close to West Coast, New Mexico, New Zealand. Nice. Hot coffee. Well, yeah, I'm thinking for this stream, I just want to show you guys this instrument. It's done, so all the presets are done. Kind of do a similar vibe as we did last week, but now I can just show you exactly what you'd be getting if you grab a copy or whatever. If you just want to check it out and you know, enjoy seeing some music and some tech talk and all the rest. Nice. Oh wow, snow out there. That's cool. Wow, wouldn't have thought that. Glad you discovered the channel, Rennie. What class? You take a music class, obviously, I'm assuming, or maybe not. Maybe a different class, and it's just providing some I don't know, some entertainment as you do challenging things. What? Oh, what's up, Shuffle? I think that's AKA, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm misremembering. Man with many names. All right. Oh, cool. Intro to Ableton. Nice. Glad it's helping. Yeah, honestly, neglected for a really long time. I'm the fashion game. I still got a long way to go, but you know, I'm trying to do what I can while I still got some good years. I don't want to start being fashionable at 75, although there's nothing wrong with that, but you know. Cool. Well, let's see where to start. I guess let's just jump into the instrument. All Rhodes. Let's see. Let me show you. So right off the bat, this is the deal here. Got an All Rhodes instrument. It's on sale right now. I'm doing an introductory discount kind of thing where it's $15 for a while. I don't know exactly how long, until basically, you know, everyone who's cool with the channel and is always like an early adopter until everyone kind of grabs a copy, and then it might go up to kind of a normal price. But for right now, it's $15, so check it out. All Rhodes, and then you can also get it as part of a bundle with the ambient electronic preset pack that came out in, I think, what was it, August or so? It's been out for a few months. So you can get them both now for $35. So kind of a nice deal. Check them out. If you like what the sounds you hear on the channel and the videos and everything, I've been using the ambient electronic bundle, and I've obviously been using the Rhodes that this instrument samples behind me here. So I'm kind of adding to the Ableton versions of just the sounds that I use. So now you can grab them. And that's what we're going to be using today, is sounds from the All Rhodes pack as the kind of thing I want to explore most today. And then as far as bass and leads and everything, I'm gonna grab from the ambient electronic bundle. or preset pack rather. So if you like what you hear today, you can grab all these sounds right here, either with this bundle, or if you already have the ambient electronic preset pack, grab the Rhodes, 15 bucks. Both the links are below. So, and on that note, let's jump into it. Let's see. Popped blue collar beats. Oh, nice. I get it now. Blue collar beats. It took me a second. I thought maybe I just had like a, I thought maybe I just had like a tradesman vibe, which I guess I kind of do with the hat and everything. Like a, I don't know, a hipster coal miner maybe? I don't know. Probably being generous. All right. Let's start making some stuff here. So, nice. Perfect. Here we go. Let's jump into Ableton. Let's see. Oh, close up. Not that one. Here we go. Let's do this one. So here's the kit, the preset pack, rather. Here we go. All Rhodes. Oh, and the nice thing about this too is it's compatible with intro, standard, suite, and I even made it for versions 9, 9.5, 10, and 11. So basically everyone should be able to use this unless you're really chilling still on version 8 or what have you. So okay, so let's see. Let's check out. Let's just start with maybe, let's see. It comes in a few different categories here. I'm kind of feeling like maybe we start with, where should we start? We got ADSR, ambient, dusty, filtered, grand, initial, and lo-fi. Let's start with the dusty one. Okay, so I'll show you dusty still first. So the dusty sounds are kind of like, they're not lo-fi, but they're just muted ones. They're muted versions of the Rhodes sound. So they're like, the idea is they're just a Rhodes sound where you don't have all that sparkly stuff. It's not a disco ball kind of sound. It's like right out the gate, it's just nice and muted, mellow, but still clear, not lo-fi, not like tape warbled and all that stuff. So here's what it sounds like. Let's see. Nice, I like this one. And in the macro control here, it's kind of small, but hopefully you can see it. It's loaded up with 3 macro variations right out the gate. So you got wet, damp, and dry. I think this is damp. Here's the wet. Just more reverb, basically. Left channel's a little distorted. Ah, yes, you're right. Thanks for that reminder. Let me put a limiter on the master here. Good call. Thank you, Ill Wafer. Let me know if there's any other issues. Definitely don't want to blast anybody over here. There we go. All right. So this is dusty still, so there's not really any motion going on. It's just kind of right down the middle. I would consider this kind of like the standard sound. Just nice, and it can get kind of ambient, but it's pretty mellow. On the high end, it doesn't come through with like the super bell kind of sounds. There's no Bee Gees vibe. There's no 80s vibe. It's when I usually download whenever I've used a Rhodes library, as great as many of them can be, whenever I've used them, I typically end up turning the sound into this kind of a thing. I'll click the Rhodes sound. It'll be too bright. It'll be too crystally. It'll be too glittery. And then I'll spend the next, like, I don't know, sometimes 15, 20 minutes trying to get it to sound mellow. And they'll usually be in the library, maybe one mellow sound, but the rest of them are like, you got your Stevie Wonder Rhodes, your Bee Gees Rhodes, and those are great. There's a time and place for them, you know? If you're playing like at a wedding or something, you need those sounds. But this is definitely a Rhodes library for people who are like, I want to make hip-hoppy kind of beats where things are like a Jay Dilla vibe or something like that. Not necessarily lo-fi, but like dusty, has character. Or if you want to make like jazz house, and you want to get that kind of like vintage flavor, or if you want to make like liquid drum and bass kind of stuff, or like 90s, early 2000s drum and bass where it has all these kinds of things. If that's your vibe, that's what I basically made this whole instrument catering towards, that kind of a sound where everything none of these sounds are going to take you out of that domain. So nice. What up, Dobell? Dobell. Appreciate that. So why don't we let's see, let's go back into Ableton and let's use this one. Use this as kind of the initial sound. Let's get a little something going here. Let's see. So why don't we I've got my drums. Let's get our drums here. Lo-fi house drum rack. I've been liking this. By the way, that's the next thing I'm probably going to put together, is a drum multi-sampled library, which, I should mention that these Rhodes sounds, it's not just one sound. These are multi-sampled. So every key has got multiple samples that it cycles through. There's 9 different velocity layers. So you can get really dynamic and subtle. And there's all sorts of like panning and stereo things going on. So this is a really like multi-dimensional kind of instrument. It's not going to fall apart once you start trying to make something a little more interesting or dynamic. Like it can stand alone as the featured instrument of a track. That's kind of how I intended it to be and how I intend to use it. Let's check it out here. Let's go for it. Let's put in a drum pattern. What do I want to do? Where should we start off? Quick, medium, slow? Where should we start off tempo-wise? Somebody give me a tempo. What do you think? Give me a tempo. Somebody give me a tempo. Nice. 95, 110, 144, 110. Those are all great. I'm going to go with the first one. 95. We'll start there. Let's start there. All right. So let's see. Let's push something in here. Go back to Ableton. My hotkeys on OBS bailed on me here, so I have to keep going back and forth. It's a bit of a bummer, but it's all good. Let's see. Here we go. 72. Nice collection of tempos there. All right, let's see. Let me turn my buffer up as well here. Here we go. Let's see, let's grab that. Let's use capture. Here we go, let's see. Looks like it dialed me in at 78.5 here, so we'll go with that. Looks like actually Anthony won out. That's kind of a fun game, actually. I just play a groove, we use capture, and then we see who guessed closest. So Anthony's the winner there. What's up, EIG Rice? Igrice? Egris? Don't know which one it is. What up? Beardy Man. Don't know Beardy Man. Nice. This is a solid groove. We'll go with this. Nice and simple. Let's see. Here we go. And this is a perfect example of where the macro variations come in handy, because right now it's a little too ambient. There's just a little bit too much reverb. Not too much, not a crazy overload of reverb, but a little bit too much. So we'll put damp. Right now we're on wet. Let's go to damp. Let's just dry it off a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, now it's a little clear. Let's do that. Let's see. Let's capture it again. I've been using capture a lot lately. It's really nice, actually. Get around that kind of like, now I'm recording, it's got to be great kind of an effect. Let's see. I think maybe we'll take this. No, maybe it was here. Though it's a little slow. Let's go up closer to, let's see, maybe 85. Yeah. Let's see, and now we can use a little bit of the macro variation. Actually, you know what? This isn't an even number. What do we got? This is a 7 bar. Yeah, what's up, Kyrilo? Yeah, the stream will stay up. The stream will stay up, so you can check it out later. Thanks for coming by. Glad you're finding it inspiring. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll catch you next time. There we go. No, this is 6 bars. What am I looking for? Let's see. Oh, no, I'm looking for this right here. Okay. 8 bars. All right, let's see. Okay, cool. So yeah, if we want to turn the highs down on this, all we got to do is go to the high gain here. Let's just mellow it out a little bit. Subtle. Maybe just get a little more reverb. Yeah. And let me get a little bit of I'm gonna pull up my reverb send for the whole mix here. Here we go. Yeah. I'm in a reverby kind of mood today. Let's do this. Yeah. There we go. Okay, cool. Now let's grab a bass from the ambient electronic preset pack, which is part of the bundle. That's kind of what I want this stream to be, is be like, hey, if you like what you hear, you can basically get all these sounds over on my website by just going over to jaronlopez.com. Both the links are below, and you can grab all these sounds, which is pretty cool. It's fun being able to make instruments. I love making music, but making instruments is its own fun kind of challenge. So here you can get both of these, the ambient electronic preset pack, which we're about to pull a bass from, and this Rhodes instrument. Or you can just grab the Rhodes or the preset pack for Ableton's analog ambient electronic on their own. Everything's up here. So yeah, go check it out. All right. And these drums too, I think I might add these drums too as a kind of a preview of what the multi-sample drum library is going to be. It's going to take a little bit to put the drum library together. It's going to be this kind of a vibe that you're hearing now, but just way more detailed. So this is kind of like very much a preliminary version of it, but I might put it on the site as kind of a really low priced or maybe even a freebie. We'll see. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Let's grab a bass. One of my favorite basses from this library is called, the ambient electronic library is called Nod. It's like a really just solid bass. Sometimes even too heavy, sometimes too solid, but we'll see if we can make it work here. We got Nod. Let's see. We'll do muted. We'll turn it down a little bit here. Here we go. Let's see. Bass line together here. Let's see. One. Let's do that. Let's see. Did we get it? Let's capture it here. Let's see. What do we got? Capture. Yeah, I like that. That works. Satisfying. Yeah, cool. So what should we do next? What should we do next? It's very simple, but this is the Dusty. So this is Dusty still. Let's explore some of the sounds. Let's see what some of the other sounds do in the all Rhodes pack to this. So let's see. This is Dusty still, and you can hear there's no stereo motion. It's just everything's centered in the middle. It's pretty mellow. You can dial up the reverb. You can dial it down. You can control the high and the low gain here. Oh, I'm covering it up. Let me move myself here. 1 second. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Let's get some other vibes in here. So you can see we've got low gain, high gain, delay, and reverb. Check out the other Dusty sounds. So here's Dusty still. Let's check out Dusty motion. So now this one has panning and vibrato. So there's just the vibrato, which is nice. It's subtle, and I've got the macro variations rigged up so that you can't go overboard. Obviously, you can open up the sounds yourself and get in there and change whatever you want, but the way I've got it rigged up is that you can just use this like an instrument. You got 6 knobs, some of them have 6, some of them have 4, some of them have 8. I think some of them even have 10 or 12 controls, which we'll get to later, ones that are rigged up to function more like a synth. But the idea is that I've already rigged all the minimums and maximums, so you can kind of just turn knobs and it's still going to be in the zone. You know, you're not going to veer off into a whole different tangent where things are going to get wild. So I kind of put bumpers up. There's safety lanes as far as keeping the sounds in check here. So the vibrato maxes out at 10%. And then the auto pan, there's a fair amount that you can dial in here. You can get the auto pan going pretty nice there. This is a classic Rhodes sound, the auto pan sound. Let's hear how it sounds with the other instruments. Yeah. I like that a lot. So you've got this kind of standard dusty sound, as I've called it. Dusty is just kind of the standard, kind of the regular Rhodes sound in terms of it being mellow. You've got still, you've got motion, and then there's 2 versions of the still and motion. And one is the normal one, and one of them has this random pan functionality. Good question, Anthony. How would you use the panned sound versus the non-panned presets? You know, I would probably use them maybe even in a context of trying to create different sounds for 2 different sections. So maybe let's say in the first section, it's not panned, which I don't even have to go to the still one. I can just turn the auto pan down to get the still. So maybe let's say, let me turn it up here. We have like section 1 starts just in the middle. And then maybe there's a solo later. In fact, here, let's do it. We'll just do that. Let's do a little sketch here. Go into arrangement mode here. Yeah, check it out. Great question, Anthony. Let's just go for it. Let's build a little sketch here. So maybe the tune begins like this with no panning. So the auto pan is to 0%. So it's basically the same as the still preset. Do a little arrangement. Why don't we even let's have the bass come in. We'll do the solo here. So maybe we can even go there. Let's see. Let's on the Rhodes. Let's even automate so that it kind of starts off in the distance in the clouds with reverb and delay cranked up, and then it comes back down. So now we'll even automate those. So something like this. And then maybe right here, we bring in a new part, just to keep the part, keep the tune interesting. In fact, here, I'm gonna actually scoot this. Scoot the automation over like that. And in this next part, we'll bring in another instrument and we'll bring in the stereo sound. So we'll go to our auto pan here, and maybe in this last part we filter it up, or not filter it up, we raise it up so that now this next part is going to be stereo. Really, it could be as simple as that most of the time. And now we're getting contrast. So I guess the best, maybe the most kind of as a concept, the answer to your question is you can use it as a way to create contrast, going from stereo to not stereo. And this is where you can really use kind of simple common sense with music when you're trying to create contrast between different sections and in an arrangement or a song structure. You can only really benefit, I think, from keeping it real simple, meaning if something was loud before, make the next section quiet. If it was really fast and rhythmically energetic and active, make the next section more chilled out and more inactive. If it was very stereo on a mixing level, make it not stereo. If it was distorted, make the next section not distorted. You can almost be overly simplistic in this sense, because I think this is the part of music that the average listener can pick up on. You don't need to understand the ins and outs of music theory or, you know, any kind of wild sound design thing. Have a taste for that. People respond to like, oh, it was high, now it's low. It was over there, now it's over there. It's something that kind of anyone can respond to. So I think it's best to lean into that. That's my 2 cents at least. So let's see. Let's grab one more sound from the Ambi Electronic pack here. And let's see. Let's grab a lead. I like this lead. You may have heard it if you've checked out the videos. You may have heard this. It's the Ambi Electronic pack, link below, and it is the turquoise lead. It's very fluty. I think it'll fit this kind of vibe pretty well here. Let's see. We'll do. Here we go. So right about here, we'll go ahead and add a little something. Let's just play around though. Let's see. So. And now it's stereo. And now maybe it goes back. Rennie, the turquoise is in the Ambi Electronic pack. That's in the Ambi Electronic pack. That's in this one here. It's in this one. It's the Ambi Electronic, which you can get them both bundled together, doing kind of like a promo on it with the release, so you can get them both bundled together. You can also get the Ambi Electronic on its own, but on its own it's $30. With the bundle it's $35. So I'm kind of just, you know, it's the type of thing where it's like, hey, grab the sounds, you know. I'm offering up the sounds. But turquoise is in the Ambi Electronic pack. The Rhodes pack is all Rhodes. It's all Rhodes. In fact, that's what it's called, all Rhodes. Yeah, Andy, that's cool. So you're using, nice. Glad you're enjoying them. They sound ace. You used to have a refaced. Yeah, those are nice. Yeah, I agree with you. It's funny the range of ways that a Rhodes can sound. You'd think that it would be pretty consistent, but it can actually be so wide that there's certain Rhodes sounds that I absolutely love that are my favorite sounds. Like this library is kind of those types of sounds. That's what I've always loved about the Rhodes, like Chick Corea Return to Forever and Weather Report and all those sounds. I've always loved that. But then there's other Rhodes sounds that are kind of my least favorite sounds ever. It's funny the range that you can have. But yeah, these presets are just how you like your Rhodes. Nice. That's awesome to hear. I had a feeling I wasn't alone, especially nowadays with all the jazz house and lo-fi and all the drum and bass flavors that kind of use these vintage things, but in a kind of not in an overdone way. They're just kind of part of the flavor now. So I figured people would probably be into having a library where it was like, just get to that sound and stay there. All right, let's see. what do you say we keep moving? Let's explore some other sounds here. So this is cool. I like this little sketch here. Let's bail though. Well, let's see. Let's go through it. We made a little arrangement. Let's vibe on it just a little bit here. Let's see. What do we got? 16 bars. Let's just jam a little bit here on the turquoise sound, just for a minute. Here we go. Yeah. Really simple. Let's do just that, like that. Let's see. Let's see if we can capture that. Oh, not that. That's not what I want. We want this. Okay, yeah. Actually, what we'll do is we'll just really crank up the delay, because this preset pack is just like the other one. It's just like the Rhodes, where there's a bunch of macro controls, which make it really nice to just modify the sound as you go. Anthony, yeah, exactly. Too bright and sparkly oftentimes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's crank up the delay. Let's see. Okay. Here's the stereo. Yeah, I like that. That's a nice little sketch there. Let's keep moving. So what I wanted to show you is the Dusty preset also has a random pan functionality, which is really cool. So what you can't usually get out of a Rhodes, if you just, for example, plug in a Rhodes to an amp or mic it up, is that it's more like a guitar where you're getting a mono signal. So you can do certain things to make it more stereo, but what's nice about sampling it is I was able to go in here. Let me delete this automation. I was able to go in and actually treat each key with its own panning. So what I did was two different things. I did one where I randomized the panning. So everything right now is pan center, but with these presets, the random pan. So let's grab this Dusty Still random pan. Now you have control. It's one of the macros, the macro called random pan. it allows you to, with each time you hit a key, it randomly pans it left or right based on the amount that you have here. So at 0%, there's no panning going on. So we would just have the same thing we were listening to. And then as we increase the random pan, if we go to 50%, now what we have is it's panning the notes 50% left and right. So basically now we could get notes that are all the way left, all the way right, and anywhere in between. Check this out. Really nice. I really enjoy that. And it's great because usually all that you're really able to do is just pan, like we just saw with the Dusty Motion preset, is that you can do the auto panning so that it's kind of just sweeping the entire sound left and right. And that's the classic Rhodes sound. That was built into some of the Rhodes models back in the 60s and 70s. So that's great. That there's a time and place for that for sure. That kind of like Chick Corea fusion old school sound is beautiful. But this now gives you like an actual stereo image. It's random, but it's like the sound is just bouncing in the stereo field. I really like this. And then what's cool on top of this is that we can actually go beyond 50%. So we can go to 100%, and now it'll pan a note sometimes even beyond the normal stereo image. So it almost makes it sound like certain notes are kind of vanishing beyond the stereo field in a weird way. Check this out. It's almost like the sound is dancing on the sides, but there's still stuff in between. It's a cool sound. I enjoy this a lot. I'm going to be using this a ton. And it makes it so that now you don't really have to turn to much to get a stereo element in your mix. Like this is going to bring so much stereo information to the overall mix, which I don't know about you guys, but oftentimes I will be at the end of a mix kind of reaching for something to bring stereo to it. This is a really slick way to do it. I'm looking forward to making some music with this. You could use EQ and filtering to make it sound dark. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what this library is from the initial sampling, the way I played it, all the way to the processing. I was kind of trying to preserve and emphasize those EQing, filtering aspects of it, which even started with just the way that I hit the notes when I was sampling it, is I was careful to make sure I was really like hitting it in a way that was just on the edge of it starting to break up and get that kind of distorted Rhodes sound. There's a few moments where it has a little bite, but most of the instrument is very mellow, although it's still dynamic because there's 9 velocity layers. So it's like very dynamic, but in the lower aspects of the dynamic range. Whereas most of the time, the velocity layers span very quiet to like that barky sound, which is a great sound, but that's not really what the vibe for this library. Ready? Yeah, I'm sure. I definitely want people to get their hands on this. So yeah, for sure. I don't know exactly my schedule for the specific sales and stuff, but I'm sure I'll probably do something on the New Year's too. So yeah, you'll for sure be able to grab it at a good price point for sure. And you can always message me too on the website. There's a contact form, so if I'm always very open to people hitting me up. I can't make any guarantees, but don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. So yeah, the random pan is super cool. And then you can combine that with the motion. So you can use the random pan preset, the Dusty Motion random pan preset, so that you can combine the random panning with the auto panning. And the reason I made these as different presets is so that you can kind of organize your use of it. If it was one preset that had all of these at the same time, it might be a little bit overwhelming and a little unclear as to what lane you could kind of go down. So That's why these are different instruments. So let's see, here's random pan with the auto pan. Let's check it out. Let's hear it with some of the other instruments. Yeah, I like this a lot. Let's hear some drums. Here we go. Very stereo, really satisfying. We can maybe turn the delay and reverb down a little bit. And that's actually another reason that there's different sounds here, is that what's nice about this sketch here is that I'm actually playing a few different chord progressions, a few different chords in this progression. So it starts with C minor 9. Oh, let me get my Rhodes sound. Here we go. It starts with C minor 9. What's up, Haku? Nice, welcome. And then it goes to G minor 9. And so far, that's all well and good, because you could just be cruising between those chords all day long. You can kind of use the same scale-ish. But then the last part of the progression, it goes to D7 sharp 5 sharp 9, and then G7 sharp 9 sharp 5 back to C minor. And aside from that just being a snazzy chord progression, the problem there is that all of a sudden all those notes lingering with the delay and the reverb don't jive too well. You don't want them smearing over each other too much, because it'll just get really dissonant. So that's where having different sounds with different levels of ambience, which is why I've made these macro presets with wet, damp, and dry. Let me go back here. That's kind of the idea behind wet, damp, and dry with each of these, is that basically if you're staying in a key where you're only using kind of one chord or two chords that are diatonic, that are kind of fit within basically the same scale, there's not a whole lot of twists and turns going on, crank up the reverb and use the wet preset. And then you can kind of just go for it. But if you're using more trickier harmony where all those notes are going to smear together, you can use the dry preset. And now all of a sudden you can feel free to be as nimble as you want with the chords. Where you can move, semitones at a time and whatnot. So it's pretty handy in that way. Okay. So that's the dusty sounds, which are kind of, in my opinion, the go-to sounds. They're not too ambient, not too lo-fi, not too much of one thing. They'd work great like for hip-hop, like we kind of just did. They'd work great for jazz house. They'd work great for, using them as pads in a drum and bass kind of thing. Pretty all-purpose, and they're all mellow, and they give you different avenues to go down for different amounts of stereo and different ways to get stereo. Panning, the random pan. And that brings me to the next group that has another take on the stereo aspect here, which I'm really pleased with this one. This is really cool. I didn't even have this in mind when I initially started this project, but once I discovered it, I realized, oh, this is really the whole nucleus of what this instrument is about to me now. And what this is is this folder of presets labeled Grand. And I hope this isn't confusing. I was a little hesitant to label it Grand because I didn't want people to think it was a grand piano. But the reason it's called Grand, it's this library, this folder here, Grand. The reason it's called Grand is because if you sit in front of an acoustic piano, grand piano or any piano, but I labeled it Grand because it's kind of what I think of. You know, Rennie, I know who that is, but I think I've gotten that comment before and Googled it, and so I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think there is a resemblance there. I think. Maybe I'm off. So the Grand presets they're called Grand because if you've ever sat in front of a piano, right in the middle of the bench in middle C, you're sitting in front of the piano, and basically the low notes, obviously they're on the left side of your head. They're on the left side of your body there. You're hearing them to the left. And then as you progress through the keyboard, things basically become panned center to your actual head, to your ears, and as you go to the higher notes, they're panned right. Might seem obvious, but it's an aspect of electric instruments that we don't have that aspect. It's an aspect of instruments that gets lost with electric instruments, meaning instruments that are recorded through a cable, whether it be a guitar or a Rhodes or an electric bass or just a lot of things. So what I was able to do is with these presets, every note is panned to simulate that experience of a grand piano. So the low notes are panned progressively left, and then middle C is right in the middle, and then the high notes are panned progressively to the right. But it's not random like the random pan presets. These are very ordered, so each note is a little bit more panned until you get to the center. So check this out. I'm a big fan of these ones. So there's the Grand Rhodes. Nice epic name. There's the Grand Rhodes here. Here it is. The Grand Rhodes. This is like the standard preset for the grand category, the Grand Rhodes. And you'll hear it right off the bat. So all of these, they're set up that they're permanently like this. These presets, they're permanently in this grand panning situation. So why don't we get a new vibe here? Let's get a new sketch here for this one. We were at an 85. Why don't we get a little faster as we go? I need a new idea here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's play for a minute here, and then I'll show you the grand idea. But let's get a new idea so we don't end up listening to the same loop for an hour. All right, we were in the key of C minor, so let's get away from that. Andy's with 118. All right, I'm with it. 118. We can head over there. Let's see. Maybe let's just give ourselves a little kick to play off of, maybe. A little 4 on the floor action, something like that. Let's see. Maybe not quite fully 4 on the floor. All right, maybe let's go to B minor. We'll go down a semitone. Let's try it. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Let's maybe do something like. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's try this. Let's do. That's not even what I was expecting. Okay, cool. We'll go with that. So it's like B minor, and then like G sus. We'll go with that. Okay, so I'll show you this grand preset now that we've got kind of a new idea. So check out the sound here. I'll play it from the bottom to the top first, and kind of give you an idea, and then we'll build the sketch out. Okay, so check out grand. I'm super pumped on this. I'm stoked on this. I'm pumped on it. Good call on 118, Andy. Haku, 7 in the bass is lit. 7? Is that how you were hearing that? Like dun 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 dun. I was just hearing it as 1 and then no 2 and then 3 and 4. Maybe you're talking about something else. I'm not sure. That could be cool though. Maybe do some odd time action. All right. So the grand Rhodes, you really get a feel for it when you hear it like this. So if I play all the way down here. Suba Day. Yeah, you know what? I'll take that. I'll take that. Because that is definitely a little something I do a lot. That kind of chromatic motion. At one point, I might have said too much, but at this point, I just accept it. It is what it is. It's what happens. Do I know if Chordy works for Sonoma? You know, I'm not positive. I'm still on an old, I don't even remember which one I'm on. It's not super old, but it's definitely not the current one. So I'm not 100% sure, Cam Do. I'm not 100% sure. That's a good question. I don't know if you've checked out the website, but he's I think it's a he. I'm not sure. Forget his name, but the person who puts that software out is pretty good. He's got a good website, so I'm sure the answer's out there, but I don't know off the top of my head. Okay, what was I saying? The grand. So can you hear? That's on that side. I think that's the lowest note. Yeah. Which, by the way, this instrument, all Rhodes, has an extended range. So it's got more than the regular Rhodes. I believe this Rhodes is a 73 key, so I extended it to be closer. I think it might be 84 keys. So you get an extended range here too, which is pretty cool. So there's the lowest note, C0, I think. You can hear that's on the left side, especially if I disable the reverb, because right now the reverb's putting a little bit of the playback in the stereo field, but if you disable the reverb, it's 100% on that side. And then let's climb up. Here, let's go over here. If we climb up, you'll hear it. Still 100% on the left. Now it's starting to creep up. Now it's maybe I think about 35 to the left. And there's middle C. So now we're center. Now we're center panned. So all of that there goes progressively to the left. I'll go by octaves. So it's kind of hard to imagine, but especially when you're playing it and if you're sitting at the keyboard and you've got the reverb kind of putting it in a stereo field, it does actually start to feel like the lower notes are on your left and the higher notes are on the right. So now if we go the other way, higher up from middle C, you'll hear it go to the right. Oh. And there's the extended range there. And that's entirely on the right. So, pretty cool. It's a little lackluster, but when you put without reverb, but when you put it in reverb, all of that kind of mixes together and it gets like this nice lush kind of sound. Like this. So if we kind of play around the keyboard now, less locally just in the middle of the keyboard, you'll hear that effect in action. So kind of has just a nice open grand stereo field. So these are very cool. I'm a big fan of these. Let's punch in that. Oh, interesting. Yes, Blondiest. That's interesting. So stereo and full screen mode. That is an interesting thing to discover. Phones are always weird like that. I'm always learning weird quirks of how the phone deals with like otherwise normal things on a computer. Subadai. Am I saying that right? Subadai. Yeah, that's a good point. So this would definitely be a preset. These presets you'd probably want to use if you want to feature the Rhodes as kind of the main instrument. So if the Rhodes wasn't just a background element, but carrying the main chord and melody aspect of what's going on. Because you're right, you're going to get lower frequencies in the left channel, and higher frequencies in the right. So you're not going to get like a centered bass kind of sound. So this would be great if you wanted to really preserve like a performance of a Rhodes, or if you wanted to shred out some like, you know, jazz stuff. If you wanted to go to like, I don't know, what's a good reference? If you wanted to go to like Kiefer or Rob, was it Arujo? That kind of stuff. You know, if you wanted to really highlight a keyboardist or go to that place, this would be great. If you just want a chord sound that's just kind of in the mix and just providing that harmonic pad while other things are taking the spotlight, maybe you'd grab a different one. However, great segue here, Subadai. You can combine these with the random pan functionality. So this is Grand Rhodes. We can go to Grand Random Pan, which now makes it so that you're not stuck with just that one stereo image. You've got the low notes starting as their initial point on the left and the high notes starting on the right when middle C is pan center. But then you can combine that with the random pan so that it'll all get kind of smeared around. And what's interesting is now not all the notes are starting from the center. Now you're getting like a low note that was maybe panned like 35 left. Maybe it gets launched to like all the way right and then 25 right and then all the way. In other words, it introduces kind of like an element of controlled chaos that can kind of curb what you are mentioning as far as that predictability of the stereo image. Fernando, the keyboard sound we're working with here is my new Rhodes instrument, which is called All Rhodes. And you can grab it for Ableton, all versions of Ableton as early as 9.5 and up to the present version. And you can check that out. Let me see if I got my screen here. On my website, you can grab it on my website, jaronlopez.com. The links are below. You can grab it alone, on its own. The Rhodes instrument's at a discounted price right now. Do a little sales pitch for any newcomers who might be interested. So you can grab it on its own for currently $15, and then you can also grab it as part of a bundle which gives you this instrument and the Ambi electronic preset pack for Ableton's Analog, which is the collection of bass, pads, keys, leads that you've heard if you've checked out any of the content here. It's what I typically reach for because I like the sounds. So yeah, that's what it is. The links are both below. Check it out. I'm excited for people to use them. It's always fun to hear people. I have a couple students who have grabbed these instruments and use the sounds pretty regularly, and it's always a blast to hear the sounds kind of have to hear these little sound sounds that I birthed go and have their own lives in other people's sessions. It's always fun. Okay, so hey, what's up, TJ? Yeah, I've known TJ since way back. Oh, nice. Appreciate the kind words, TJ. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, TJ and I were in a jazz band way back together. Yeah, wild times. Subede. Okay, Subede. Gotcha. Let's see. Nice. Okay, so let's check out. I want to show. Let's check out what I was just describing in terms of the grand random pan. So we can combine all this. So let's see. Let me punch in. I'm gonna go back to the regular grand. We're gonna do a deep dive on this library today. So we got a lot, not a reasonable amount of sounds left. There's an ambient folder, which leans into the atmospheric reverb and delay aspect of this. I think people are really gonna dig those. It might be one of my favorites. There's a filtered category, which are really cool, great for adding like syncopation and rhythmic modulation to the sounds. That one's gonna be really cool. That'll definitely be useful if you're trying to like have the ambient kind of vibey thing, but still have some rhythmic, funky kind of punctuation possibilities. And then there's a really cool folder that's called ADSR, which allows you to treat these samples as kind of a synth. Hey, appreciate that, Fernando. Appreciate the super chat. You're awesome. I appreciate that. Big up to you. And then there's one more. There's the lo-fi. There's a couple lo-fi that lean into Ableton's Echo, which are kind of like true lo-fi, meaning they've got like tape warble and noise and everything. So yeah, we'll get to all of them. But here is the grand. And let's go ahead and punch in this idea before I forget it. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. What was it? What was it? I'm forgetting what it was. It was a different yeah, okay. Maybe we'll make it kind of nice and long like that. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do some like arpeggiation. So maybe I like that. Yeah, we'll do this. This was very kind of intriguing. We turned up a little bit. The Rhodes. Yeah, we'll just get lost a little bit in this. This could be a cool little micro composition. That's it. Let me just get it a little tighter now. Here we go. Almost there. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's capture it. I like that. That turned into a little, like, I don't know. Turned into a little, make me think of like a little it turned into a little bit of a fairy tale kind of thing. I don't know, like some kind of surreal, modern, like, I don't know, The Shire or something. I don't know, The Shire, but it's like 2023 or 2025. I don't know. Let's see, I wanted just the last part. Let's see, I think just that last one. Let's see. And then choosing the last one. Okay. So now let's go back. Oh, didn't switch back to the screen here. All right, now let's go back to. So this is the grand Rhodes. Right now we're kind of in the, a little bit above middle C. We're kind of in the octave or two above middle C. So everything's kind of like hand center to like 25 or so right. So that's cool, but since we know we're maybe going to chill there for a little bit, let's change it to the grand Rhodes random pan, so that now we can maintain that kind of stereo image, but now we can kind of throw some of the notes around. So here's 0 random pan, and now let's go to 50. Instantly it hasn't changed the stereo image necessarily, but there's just like moments where now it's kind of like shifted the compass around. Again, like I said, it's subtle, but I find this to be really satisfying because once I started doing this, I realized, oh, the Rhodes is typically a very either monophonic or just that tremolo auto pan effect. It's kind of typically how you hear the Rhodes, and it's a beautiful sound that way. But after doing this, I realized how satisfying it was to kind of marry the idea of a Rhodes sound with the acoustic behavior of a piano. So anyway, yeah, okay. Yeah, TJ, exactly. I was thinking that. Yeah, you bring up a really cool aspect. Ocarina of Time. Is that Zelda? That's Zelda, right? Yeah, I that is something I tend to realize I keep coming back to, those kind of like classic sounds. And I agree. I learned way too late, like a few years ago, that yeah, a lot of those soundtracks were written by like just kind of like, it makes sense, you know, it was a new technology. I'm sure, you know, Nintendo and those companies were like, let's get some of the cooler composers out there. So oftentimes they were kind of like quasi-classical, quasi-electronic, quasi-jazz fusion-y kind of types of musicians. So yeah, it makes sense that they would create these really interesting, colorful, and yeah, proven to be timeless compositions. So yeah. I now take video game music as a badge of honor, or as a sign that it's a, you know, as a good thing. For a minute there, it was, I may be alone in that. For a minute there, I thought I took it as a little bit of a bummer, but not anymore. Yeah, it adds a kind of movement and interest to it. Exactly. So these are really nice too, because these grand instruments, I've got a lot of different things here. So again, the reverb is, the presets are in many ways different amounts of reverb and delay, which, like we just talked about with the dusty sounds, to me that usually comes down to just how adventurous the chord progression is. So this one is pretty adventurous, meaning it's chromatics. It's going from, the one chord is from one key, the second chord's from basically a whole different key. It's going from B minor to G mixolydian. So they've got essentially not really a whole lot to do with one another, which means that when one chord ends and the next one begins, I need the reverberation to promptly get out of the way. Otherwise it's going to smear over and just sound like chaos. So the drenched macro preset probably isn't the one for this, but let's try it. I'll go through them. It works. It's not bad. It works. But it's a little bit, you can hear that smearing effect. It's maybe a little bit too much. So the wet one, I think, is what we were listening to. That one maintains the reverberative ambience, but gets out of the way for each chord. But what's nice is that if that's not the case for your chord progression, you can lean into the reverb, which is why I've put it here. And also the whole category of the ambient presets are ones designed specifically for this. These are presets where they're designed for a musical situation where you're not moving between chromatic chord progressions, if any chords at all. So those will be fun. We'll get to that in a second. And then there's damp, little less reverb, and then there's dry, which has no reverb. But that's what I love about this instrument, is that the way that I've recorded it, sampled it, and processed it, is that even the dry one, there's no reverb, but it has like the feeling of space. It has the feeling of like a little world in there, you know? And then there's vibrato versions for each one. So here's wet with vibrato, which I really like that. The vibrato kind of brings it into a little bit of the more lo-fi, kind of affected Casio-esque, Boards of Canada-ish kind of flavor. So it takes a bit away from the cleanness of the sound, but that's, I think, something I'm often doing depending on the vibe of the track I'm working on. Is sometimes I want it to evoke a little bit more of like a pristine kind of thing, and sometimes I want it to evoke a little bit more of like a playful, almost toy-like kind of quality. So Dread, what's up? Yeah, I actually was gonna post, I wanted to post on Discord that I was live, but if I open Discord, there's a chance my computer might die. It's holding up strong, but between Ableton, the capture card, OBS, the Chordy app, I got a lot going on. I'm maxed out, so yeah. If anyone is on Discord, though, if you want to post a link, feel free. Yeah, TJ, Boards of Canada, exactly, yeah. Good stuff. I haven't listened deeply to their catalog, but when anything I've ever heard, I've always been intrigued and enjoyed. But is there one that it's still on my list to really wrap my mind around their entire catalog, or at least a good amount of it. I know they've got quite a bit of stuff out there. Okay, this is cool. I think this kind of gives you an idea for the grand idea. Yeah, I'm inclined, I won't do it right now, but I do have some projects that I could pull up this sound for that is, maybe that could show the kind of like solo piano thing. Maybe we'll do that at the end. But I'm going to put in a bass line here. So now this is Nod from the Ambi Electronic preset pack. It's one of my favorite bass sounds from that pack. Let's add a bass line, and then we'll move on. We'll move on to another sound, I think. Around with this for a second here. Let's see. Last part. liking that. I will be right back though. I gotta grab a tissue. Let's keep rolling. I can't get into like nitpicking perfection mode with this stuff. Not on stream at least. It's not fair to you guys. All right, let's see. Where were we? Let's do this. That works. I did indeed. I had a tissue issue. And when I say tissue, I just mean a roll of toilet paper. That's when I know I've made it, when I actually have a box of tissue. But until then, we blow into the teepee. Let's see, did that work out? I like that repeated note. Me too. You know, but we all have dreams. I dream of tissue. I dream of Kleenex. True. Yeah. All right. We'll leave it with that. I want to actually change that note there. I want this to be. Let's see. I'm gonna let this my perfectionism / just whatever musical neuroticism take over. I want this to be here. Let's see. This to be like right here. Let's try that. Big tissue. Yeah, I know. Big tissue. Let's see. Here we go. We'll go with that. Okay, perfect. We got a little sketch there. We should punch in the tempo here. Maybe. So what was this one? This was like 85. And this one could be 118. Okay, let's punch in a little bit more of the groove. Just because we deserve it. We deserve it. Maybe full 4 on the floor. And then check this out. This is, oh, you can't see this, my bad. Don't hesitate to remind me if I forget to change the thing. Someday I'll get the hang of it. Let's see, we want to see it maybe over here? Yeah, okay, perfect. And then check this out. I'm quite pleased with this drum kit. That's why the next instrument I think is going to be a drum instrument. This one's very simple. It's just what it is. You get what you see here basically. But as I was doing this, there was a couple discoveries that I made that made me. Well, I learned a lot about multi-sampling from this Rhodes instrument. It's gonna things that made me realize what I've got coming down the pipe here will be pike. I don't know which one. Is a drum library with multi-sampled and round robins and all that stuff and velocity layers, and then also a guitar library, most likely, specifically leaning on the ability to do like slides and different articulations in a way that maybe doesn't lock you into like what I've often heard with like contact guitar libraries and stuff. There's a few good ones out there that I've seen at least, but a lot of them kind of lock you into like a certain style, and the style is usually like someone with an open Hawaiian shirt and like sunglasses and like maybe a fedora kind of guitarist vibe, which, hey, no shade, but I would make one that's a little bit more in line with the guitar playing you've seen on this channel, maybe a little bit of a less is more kind of approach. Excuse me. and probably a bass instrument. So really just turning all the instruments you see me play on this channel into software instruments. And also, in the near future, I don't know how near, but not the distant future, I plan to offer all of these things as VSTs. So it's going to be a bit of an undertaking, but Ableton's great. But I really want to start offering these as basically VSTs from Jaron Lopez Music, and obviously be able to then offer them to all DAWs and kind of just create our own little world in that way. And so the first few instruments will be all those. This Rhodes will be converted to that format, the drum instrument, guitar, bass, and then we'll just keep rolling from there. I'm excited about that. It's going to be cool. And if you're excited about that, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in and you want to help me at all get to that end in an expedited fashion, the best thing you can do, in other words, if you can't access these sounds because you're not an Ableton user and you want to expedite that VST process, supporting me on Patreon would be a great way to do that. The more support I can get over there, the more time I'll be able to invest in that kind of stuff. That's where I'm putting the my time and energy as far as that goes. So, but also, if you're just here to chill and hang and pick up some of the music vibes, I'm more than thrilled to have you here. So, absolutely. Oh, I appreciate that, Illwafer. That's cool to connect. There's a couple people who are always showing the love over there. That's great to know you're one of them. I think I remember. I think you used the same name on the email because it shows me at least that info. But I appreciate you. Thanks for showing the love over on Bandcamp. Yeah, that means a lot. It means a lot because it's always. I don't know. This day and age, it's people who actually like yourself who actually pay for musicians' work in that way is I feel like becoming a more and more rare thing. I mean, any way you support a musician or an artist is always amazing. But yeah, actually, just it sounds obvious now that I'm thinking of it, saying it out loud, but rewarding a musician for just simply making music has become almost like a bygone thing. Now it's like you support a musician for all the things they do aside from making music, but I appreciate you. Okay, so one thing I love about this drum kit, which I'm excited to implement more. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Illwafer. It's your alarm. Oh, nice. Okay, that one, the Before My Time Noir, I could see that. That's a nice chill beginning to the day. That's awesome. That's really cool to hear. You really go. Yeah, Subadai. I'm at the end of the day, I'm just a musician, but I'm a musician with a lot of I guess energy, so I try to put it wherever I can. And I love making music, but sometimes just endless music making can run its course. So I try to balance it out with a whole bunch of other things like this and a lot of the other and the content you see on the channel. So yeah, appreciate you being here for it though. But really, in terms of the VST idea, there's so many great instruments out there. Don't get me wrong. There's no scarcity of great VST instruments. But something I continually observe is that it makes sense. All VSTs at the end of the day are software, and most software is it's built by software makers, programmers, coders, and many of those people are musicians themselves too. There's many people who are working in that field who are musicians, but that's just what they're doing as far as what they're putting out into the world and what have you. But I do like the idea of it being maybe the other side of musicians, people who are maybe more so musicians than coders, learning to code enough and obviously getting the help of people who have an expertise in that. to make instruments versus maybe oftentimes what is the case is people who are maybe more programmers than musicians, although still musicians, kind of coming from that side of the coin. And again, it takes all types. There's not one way to do it, but I like the idea of an instrument software company that is, you know, maybe despite their despite the shortcomings that might come with that, that are making software for other musicians. Not the first, you know, it's not a novel idea, but it's something I'd like to see more of out there, you know. Nice, Dread had to put a chicken in the pan. Yeah, TJ, I appreciate that. Yeah, I guess, yeah, a lot of the sounds I choose and everything are very much, I'm just trying to soothe myself over here, so yeah. Okay. Drums. I keep getting sidetracked, forgive me. What I like about this is I like the idea of integrating one-shot sounds with loops. So for example, this drum pattern here, it's got a kick and a low rim and a snare as one-shots. But then there is a shaker loop. And again, not novel here, but I'm liking the idea of kind of customizing this in various ways. So let's just punch in the shaker loop. Here we go. We'll do it when it comes around. It just makes it too easy. I love that. I love when it just does what you want it to do, you know? I don't know how many of you have experienced that, but the amount of time I've spent futzing with a loop or a sound, it's just so satisfying when the sound is just what you want it to be. It's like, yeah, that's it. Could I mix it? Could I sit here for 10 minutes and try to tweak it? Maybe, but that does its job. Cool. Maybe, let's see, let's put a hat. Man, that hat is so chilled out, it's blending in. Maybe a little ghost snare. Nah, I don't even need it, we'll just keep it. All right. Cool. Let's keep moving here. Where should we go next? That's the grand random pan, and the only ones I didn't show there is that there's two other ones called pure. They're which is the same thing, except it gives you access to a control for what I call purity, which is really just basically dialing in the more bell aspect of the Rhodes sound. So for example, this is what we were hearing before, more or less. And now if we use the purity control, you'll hear the bell come up a little bit. Here it is. Just a little bit more of the bright aspect coming through, but still kind of kept in check. Yeah. Nice. Cool. So there's that, and then there's also a pure preset that is for the random pan and one that is not random pan. But that's the grand Rhodes there. I like the grand Rhodes. I like it a lot. Yeah, you'll probably be hearing me use this. That's another thing, just kind of another plug, a little intermediate hour 2 plug here. That's what I'm loving about this this collection of sounds. The all Rhodes is that even though I've got the Rhodes behind me here, now that I've got this rigged up as a MIDI instrument, I'm probably going to use this library instead of the Rhodes a lot of the time, only because of the convenience of MIDI editing. But also, the Rhodes, it's a vintage instrument. I mean, we're talking about a 50-year-old instrument, more. Yeah, like a 55, 60-year-old instrument back here. So you could get it souped up and, you know, refurbed, and I plan to do that in the future just for like keeping it restored as an antique. But the action and everything is so all over the place. So the consistency and tweakability of being able to play a MIDI controller and just kind of rely on the you know, not the quirks of it being this whole mechanism is really nice. And so yeah, the music you're going to hear me making on the channel and putting out on Bandcamp and all the rest is going to be using this. So that's kind of at the heart of what I'm excited to offer with all these instruments too, is that these are the instruments that I'm want to use when I make music. So yeah, I'm kind of just offering it as like, use it with me. I did record every single note, but what happened was that every single note then required me to, it was too cumbersome to do the multi-velocity layers and round robins. So there's some that are duplicated, but I found that it didn't take away from the detail. So I kind of found a good middle ground. But I did initially record every single note, which took a super long time. And that's what I'm hoping, that when I make a VST of this, I'll be able to optimize it beyond what Ableton's simpler and sampler offer, so that I can go further without crushing the CPU. Because that's what's great about this all Rhodes instrument as well, is that if you've got even a moderately powered computer, you should be in fine shape. These will not demand too much of your machine, which I wanted to maintain. Okay, so that's all Rhodes. But the grand, and also if by playing the Rhodes, I can't do these kinds of panning things, you know, which I didn't expect to find out. Like I only then, as I was developing these sounds, did I realize how cool a lot of these panning tricks were, and I realized, oh, this is bringing an element to the instrument that I can't achieve if I just plug it in and record audio. Obviously I'll be doing a bit of both, but I will probably be reaching for this all Rhodes instrument a lot of the time. Oh, cool, Dimitri. Yeah, okay, so it's cool. So you've got one too. You've got a mint 1979 Rhodes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're incredible. I love these instruments, you know. But yeah, there's a time and place for both, and I'm definitely in a phase right now where the convenience of being able to do this stuff is really cool. Not to mention just even be able to play these sounds and then have it pop up with the software and everything is really valuable for like teaching purposes and stuff, you know. So I can show you guys what all these weird chords I'm playing are. You know, on stream and in videos, and I can't do that with playing the real Rhodes behind me without having to like spend a week animating everything. Egress, they're linked below. They're both for Ableton, so you'll find the link. The first link is to the all Rhodes instrument. It's what you'll see. That first link will take you to my website, where you can find this instrument here. It's called All Rhodes. It's compatible with all versions of Ableton. Oh, the visualization software is not mine. No, that's not my software. That's an app called Chordy. And it's a really handy app. Shout out to the guy who put it together. I forget the name. It's called Chordy app though. It's really, really useful little utility. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Where were we? We were moving on from the grand. Okay. Where should we go next? We've got filtered. We've got ambient. Ambient filtered ADSR. Let's see. Let's go to filtered. Let's go to filter. Let's change it up a little bit, and then we'll come back to the ambient ones. I haven't messed a ton with the filtered ones. Let's see. This will be cool. Actually, you know what? No, we'll go to ambient first. So we've got a couple here. We've got ambient random pan and ambient grand. So you'll find throughout the library that most of these sounds come with a random pan and then a grand option. Let's see. Let's do the ambient random pan. And I think it's time to kick up the tempo a bit here. Let's go up to maybe... Let's go up to kind of drum and bass territory, I'm thinking. This is cool. I like how we got a little EP going here. Let's see. So let's do maybe, let's go to what? Let's start with 135. Maybe go boom, chicka boom, chicka boom. Let's just start with that kind of a pattern. Maybe just let's do a ride on some quarter notes. Maybe we'll do them eighth notes. Yeah, I'll do some eighth notes. Let's do that. We'll do maybe. Oh, that's cool. A little syncopation. Let's go faster. 150. Yeah, nice. TJ, you into it? Patrick, sounds promising. SPL library? SPL. I'm not sure what you're referring to. And Dread, you mentioned in terms of the VST, the platform. It'll be its own platform. We'll probably be building it on the Juice framework, which is a common VST. So it'll be from scratch. We'll be building it. Well, not from scratch, but not on an existing music company's structure. Yeah, I like this. This is cool. Equally divided mind. Let's see, am I on the right window? Oh, I'm on the right window. Here we go. Oh, yes, it's a sample library. Yeah, it's an instrument for Ableton Live. So it's a Rhodes. It's called All Rhodes. It's the first link in the description, Patrick. And yeah, you can grab it. It's compatible with all versions of Ableton as early as 9.5. And yeah, there's simpler and sampler versions, so it'll work with intro, standard, and suite. And yeah, that's what we're exploring right now, is all the different presets that I've put together and macro variations that use it. It's sampled my Rhodes back here, and yeah, it's for basically all the most vibey, smoky, dusty aspects of what a Rhodes can do, and kind of staying away from the disco ball, glittery things that oftentimes Rhodes libraries split the difference on there. All right, let's see. So ambient random pan. There's two ambient versions. There's ambient random pan and grand random pan. And you could probably start to pick up on the pattern here of the naming conventions. And also when you download it, there's a PDF that comes with it that explains the different aspects here. So there's kind of like a README or some notes there that kind of explain the thought process behind these things. But and then there's ultra ambient. So let's start with ambient, and then let's do the ultra ambient. Hey, what's up, Baruti? Appreciate it. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it, Baruti. 4 half note triplets, but I like to call them third notes. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you can really call, you know, we can call them whatever we want. I think of it as just syncopation. Honestly, I just think of it as like breakbeat. Fast funk beats. All right, let's get a little thing going. So for this one, we'll lean into the ambient sound. Oh, you know what? That's great you asked that, Patrick. I've been curious of how many people actually use that. I was looking at Decent Sampler. Yeah, I'd be open to maybe implementing some of these sounds. I have the ultimate vision is to have a VST of my own kind of format that I can offer for any DAW in any situation, obviously. But Decent Sampler might be a good middle ground. Anyone else use Decent Sampler or heard of Decent Sampler? It's kind of an open source sampler platform. I have looked into it, but I have not used it or made anything with it yet. So for this idea, let's keep it in like one key. That way we can just lean into the ambient stuff. So let's do a different vibe here. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see. We did C minor, we did B minor. Let's just keep going down. Let's do B flat minor. Here we go. Actually, you know what? I like the idea of going to the deep. I like the idea of going to a really deep tone. So maybe F. Let's do F minor. Okay, I like this, but you know what? Let's go ahead and just lean into the ambient right off the bat. Yes, exactly, Dimitri. Yes, I'm so glad you mentioned that, LTJ Bootcamp style, because yeah, that's exactly what these presets are all about, is that kind of 90s, early 2000s drum and bass flavor. Exactly. Nice. Okay, awesome. I was excited to stream to see, because I have a feeling that people who are tapped into this channel are kind of into all those vibes. I figured, because that's kind of what I'm into, and that's what the channel kind of does. So that's super cool to see. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll have to look more into Decent Sampler. It seems like a good option. Maybe I'll have to go there next. Okay, so let me show you. This is the first one that has a lot more going on in the macro variations. Like you can see right off the bat, there's a lot more control here. Low gain, random pan, vibrato amount. You get more control over the delay time, the delay width. So yeah, this is cool stuff here. This is the damp macro variation. So as wet of a sound as that was the damp version of it. So let's go back and do the wet one. Here's wet. That could be cool. Maybe that's the idea. I like that. I like that. We'll do that. Something like that. This. Yeah. Okay, this is gonna be cool. out the chord here a little bit. We'll go. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so. Okay, cool. That's a nice little idea there. But what happens if we crank up all the ambience even more? Because that's what I find with ambient kind of sounds, is that the more ambience and reverb and percolation the sound does, it actually just immediately makes it so you play less, because there's all that stuff filling in the space. So I'm still filling up the space instinctually quite a bit. So let's see, let's do the drenched one here, and then I think we got to go to ultra ambient. Let's see, here we go. Oh, and just so I want to make sure people can see, we're doing the drenched. We went from wet, damp, and we got drier. It's not dry because it's drier because it's still got a little bit of reverb and delay. But this is the drenched one. So here we go. Quite ambient. Let's turn it up a little bit here. There you go. Now it's starting to demand space there. Or I just want to leave that open. Let's see. That's really lush. Okay, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. But let's go back, and I think it's time. Let's bust it out here. Let's go to ultra ambient. This whole time, this is drenched. That's what this preset is called. This macro variation. It's called drenched. Drenched is the wettest, and then it's wet, damp, and drier. So we're clearly in drenched territory here. But let's go to ultra ambient. This is still just the ambient random pan here. Let's go to ultra ambient. And I do like the title of that too, ultra ambient. We'll do ultra ambient, and now let's see what happens. So this one's significantly got more atmosphere. Let's see what happens here. We'll start with the damp. Here we go. present there. Cool, I like that. Let's go to wet. Here we go. Let's do some short notes. Let's see what happens with some short notes. I like that. Yeah, okay, now we're talking. I like this. This. Let's go to drenched. So this is full ambient here. Here we go. Let's turn the beat off for a second. What happens if we just play that? I want to get full ambient here. No drum group for just a minute. We'll come back to drum and bass in a second, but what if we just go like this? Yeah. See, even that's a totally normal chord progression there, but it already's there's too much going on, it blurs together. Okay. So here's what I want to do. Let's go, we'll stick with drenched. And let's see, let's turn the reverb down a bit. And let's get the delay time. I'm liking the delay time there at 8th note. We'll do the delay amount's good. Let's swap it out for the grand. So now we can do the same thing with the ultra ambient here, but we can do it with the grand preset. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Rennie. You have a great one. Catch you later. So here's the grand instrument, and we can also add the random pan to this. Yeah, okay, here we go. I like that. Okay, we got the idea now. Here it is. Here we go. Nice. See, when there's enough ambience, it almost tells you what to play. It tells me what to play. So we'll do, yes, like this idea here. Bars. Love that. around with some of the settings now. Maybe let's turn up some of the vibrato. Absolutely, Rennie. Thanks for checking out the content. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm liking this. Yeah. And let's get a little crazier with the ghost notes here. There we go. It's kind of starting to roll around there. What about let's do the shaker again. Here we go. Yeah, now we're talking. How about a bass line? Nice, we'll go with that. I'm liking that bass line, just keep it simple. Yeah, I agree, Dimitri. I keep that's what I'm doing a lot of plugging today, but it's where my head's at. That's what I'm excited to build a drum library now that kind of has all that going on, where it won't be perfect for every situation, but I want it to be like when you reach for a shaker, it's already adding that kind of, like you mentioned, that drum and bass vibe in the vein of those artists and those styles, that it's kind of already like it. In other words, it's almost like your shaker player already knows what's going on, as far as the vibe of the music. Sometimes when I reach for a shaker loop or an instrument or a drum library, it's almost like that drummer, that imaginary drummer, like thinks it's a country gig or something, or thinks it's like when it's like, hold on, no, we're doing drum and bass. We're not doing, you sound great, but we're not doing a Nashville thing, or we're not doing a this or that thing, Don't get me wrong. I love a wide range of music, but when it comes to making tracks in Ableton, at least as of recently, I'm usually trying to do, like, if it's a down-tempo thing, I'm trying to get that kind of like Dilla-esque and all the people who followed in his footsteps kind of flavor. If it's a house kind of thing, I'm going for, that more muted, subdued, jazz housey kind of thing. If it's drum and bass, I want it to be that kind of liquidy kind of thing. So yeah, this little kit I put together. It's just my drum kit that I've got here in the shake. It's actually this shaker, but they're just played with that kind of vision. They're played with a sonic vision of that purpose, which can go a long way. In my opinion, it's a lot more about the person performing and processing and putting the instrument together, kind of knowing really what the end spectrum of results is about, more than it is about the actual microphones that it's recorded with, or the this or that, or the gear, Okay. Cam, do you ever use third-party plugins, or do you prefer to keep it native? I used to use all third-party plugins, but over the past few years, I've enjoyed making my own instruments and then being able to share them, like this one, on my website. So it's led me to using native plugins. In other words, meaning like all these sounds you're hearing are stuff that I've created using the native plugins. So simpler, sampler, drum rack. And in the future, that's why I'm excited to put together my own VSTs, so that you don't have to actually have Ableton to access these sounds or what have you. So short answer, yeah, I've used a ton of stuff. And And then I actually started teaching at a school a few years ago that was a all in the box Ableton, and that's what kind of kicked off my journey of trying to actually use every last thing I could in the box, because I was limited to that while I was teaching. And when I was teaching, it felt quite hypocritical to teach stuff in the box and then turn around and never use the stuff. So that's kind of where it began for me. And now I just really enjoy it. I enjoy kind of not really caring about what it is and instead focusing on the sound. Right, Patrick? Yeah, it can be very brutally true of drum samplers, because sometimes drums are very specific to a particular kind of genre or style, and if it's not what you're looking for, it can almost be comical sometimes. And if it is what you're looking for, it can really make it, where you don't really have to even do a whole lot. I feel like this is a good example of that. The drums are carrying all this, and then the Rhodes can just like do its thing, All right, I say I'm going to riff on this. Actually, you know what? Yeah, okay. What if we pull up another Rhodes and solo with a Rhodes over this? Yeah, I'm liking that idea. Let's see. So maybe we do, which one? Let's do a filtered one. This will segue us into a filter. We'll do, maybe we'll start with one of the modulated ones. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll start with the modulated. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. We'll do the modulated low pass. Here we go. Let's see what happens here. Starting to push. I've got between the streaming and everything, on its own, these instruments work fine on any even moderately powered machine. But the fact that I'm streaming and 4K and chord app, my computer's doing a lot more than yours will be if you're just making music, or honestly, even if you're doing all this stuff on a more powerful computer. I'm just on an M1 Mac, so it does the job, but it's by no means a powerhouse. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna jam out on Turquoise. This one's part of the ambient electronic. Cool. I like this one a lot. This is still one of my favorites from the ambient electronic pack, which is the second link in the description below. It's probably my favorite lead from that. Here it is. I'll go to this view. Here we go. We'll just jam out a little bit here. Keep it simple. Let's see. Let's do more. Yeah. Here we go. Sometimes that's it. Sometimes it's just, that's all it's got to be. Maybe we'll do reverse. So the first time it's high, low, high, and then maybe it's low, high, low. The other way? Let's see. No, too complicated. Sometimes you just gotta keep it simple. It's always fun when it kind of demands that it be tasteful. That's what I love about the ambient style, is that when there's so much percolating, it's kind of, you can just get out of its way. Nice, glad to hear you're digging it, TJ. Okay, so you guys get the idea with the ambient stuff. You could really take that in a bunch of different directions. To me, that's the energy I've got for it right now. Let's see. So let's keep going. Which sounds haven't we explored? We haven't done the filtered one. So we've done ambient, we've done dusty, we've done the grand. Okay, filters. Cool. This can take us to a little bit of a funkier zone here. Let me actually I want to grab that just in case I forget that little melody. Okay. Here we go. So we've got filtered. These are all grand. So a few different variations here. We've got the grand Rhodes band pass. And these are really meant to be messed with the filter frequency. Kind of like a wah, to get a wah-wah kind of behavior. Let me pull it up. Here we go. Here we are. So, filtered grand Rhodes. We've got a band pass, a low pass, and a morph filter version of this. And then there's a modulated version of the band pass and the low pass. This one's cool. This one's cool. You'll hear right off the bat, this band pass, it's the presets are like telephone, the other room. They're going to give you kind of muted sounds. But the idea is here that they're meant to be used while modulating or with either automation or with an LFO, the filter frequency, which will give you different behaviors. So, but even if you were just to use them like this, you'll get a kind of like a telephone effect. That's what this macro is called, telephone. Let's see, we were in F minor. Where to go next? We've been in minor land. What if we do a major key one? Let's do something in a major key. Maybe A major? Let's try something in A major. Let's see. And so right away, you'll hear the filter frequency is kind of too high. So if we bring this down, yeah, nostalgic, Corey. Yeah, it's kind of got like that, the vibrato is giving it that kind of warble. Okay, so if we're in, let's do A major, let's see, we'll do. Yeah. let's go. Why don't we try this actually on... Okay, you know what? We'll start with the modulated ones, because these ones are really meant to be controlled by automating this behavior here. But there's kind of already a way to do that with the modulated ones, where you don't have to automate it or do it by hand. And that would be these two modulated filtered grand Rhodes and modulated filtered grand Rhodes low pass and band pass. So we'll do the band pass first. And what you'll notice is we instantly get access here to a modulation amount and rate. So let's see. Yeah, this should work here. Let's try this. Oh, we're still pretty quick. Let's lower the tempo. We didn't really do a 95 beats per minute, so we'll go down there. Let's do this. Maybe we'll do half the modulation amount. We'll do 50% here. Oh, no, that didn't. Oh, sorry, 15. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's more in the zone. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's do something with this. Let's see. And we can use a bit more, maybe a little less modulation. Let's see. We'll make this 3. Here we go. Yeah, we'll just keep it real simple. We'll go. Let's do a little loop. We'll go. All right, let's see. Let's get a little tempo here. Do a little ballad. This will be nice. This will be nice. Yeah, okay. Maybe this will even be slower. Maybe I'm thinking, here, let's see. Where are we at here? And we don't need a kick. We need a cymbal on this. Just really mellow. And let's see, we probably need this to be more like, let's do a repitch on this. No, on the ride, we'll do a oh, it already is. Interesting. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I will be. This is just kind of like the initial walking through it, but yeah, there'll be, all this week actually, I'm going to be using these sounds in kind of the format that's been on the channel lately. And then probably by the end of the week, I'll be releasing a shorter video demoing every sound with a kind of a little loop or an idea, a little sketch. Yeah, just like with the ambient electronic pack. Exactly. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. I'll probably do that. There'll be a couple other videos, the demo video, and then I'll probably do another stream later in the week. Just kind of probably after that video premieres, maybe. Yeah. I basically just now need to put together, you know, spend some time off stream, just kind of really coming up with some cool ideas. We've already got a few today, actually. Some of these ideas may end up in that demo, actually. I like these ideas that we've come up with so far. Yeah, that's why I'm excited to put the drum library together, is because, like, for example, right now I wish I had access to a longer ride cymbal, but this is just a kit I put together basically from a tune that I used this kit on, and I kind of compiled the elements into a drum rack. So it's by no means multi-faceted. It's kind of a one-trick pony here, but yeah, we'll change that with the upcoming drum instrument. All right, let's see. Well, we'll go with it though. Maybe it'll work. Let's just try. Or you know what? Maybe we'll just lean into it here. Let's do a little hi-hat action. We'll do that. Let's see. Kind of in between ideas here, but we'll keep it simple. Let's see. We haven't really done just a. Just use this kind of as a metronome track for starters. Let's see. Okay, let's just keep it simple. We'll just go with that. Really nice and... Let's see. You know what? Check this out. This is a cool trick. I'm obviously someone's already done this. I'm sure people have already made. There's probably a bunch of videos on this already. But here's an idea I didn't think to do till recently. So if we want to have all these hi-hats, let's say we want this hi-hat to be on beat 1, but we want all these to be slightly off. I never thought to do this. Instead of using grooves and stuff, we could just take the quantize and we could go to eighth note triplets and make it like 10%. and it just shifts it around. I guess it shifted it all in the same area, in the same way though. But that's okay. It's kind of like a way to use groove, but like in a different way. Just thought that was cool. Hadn't thought of to do that ever before. Do that one too, and this one. Yeah. All right, let's get a little bass. The nod from the Ambient Electronic kit. Yeah, Cam, dude, that's what made me think of it, is because I was seeing everyone use the new features, and I was like, oh, there's some stuff that I haven't even used, though, in 11. But yeah, those features look really cool. Really cool. All right, let's see. So here we go. Out. Yeah. Now let's jam over it a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, I like this. Oh, this could be cool. What if we swap it out? Let's do, okay, let's keep going here. So what if we go, let's go to the lo-fi. Let me swap over here. Let's see. Let's go to the lo-fi presets. Where are we? Okay, here we are. Lo-fi presets. This one could suit it. Let's see. Let's do the grand lo-fi. So we get that same panning behavior, but with this lo-fi instrument. I think this one's gonna be cool. Let's check it out. Because we got kind of like a little jazz progression here. Yeah, this one's very pleasant. Let's see, what else can we get? Let's get more lo-fi. Let's crank it up here. We'll do some random pan. We'll do some auto pan. Maybe we'll put the high gain. Yeah, even more reverb maybe. Even more noise. Let's see how gritty we can get. Let's see. Turn down the lo-fi a little bit, maybe 75. Let's just glide on E. Nice. That one's really pleasant. That was very much an ending song. That's one to end on. But we're not quite done yet. Let's keep going. I want to get through all these presets because I want to at least have this stream be kind of the initial introduction. So what haven't we done? We did the ambient. There's more to explore with the filters, but we did the lo-fi. there's just one more category we haven't touched on, but I do want to come back to some of these filters. Let's see. Let's come back to a filter here. Let's see. Let's do. No, actually, that might deserve its own. In the demo video that'll come out later in the week, I'll probably be able to demonstrate that a little more succinctly. Although I do want to show this off. I'll show one more with the filtered. It's this morph filter. Hey, Silescence. Cool name. Thanks for coming by. Okay, so the filtered grand, let's see, maybe the funk flavors weren't exactly what I'm kind of after with this library, but I do know that these filtered ones could venture there. So what do we need to do to get a little funkier? We might have to go to like 105. We might have to go to 105. 110, 105. Let's do 105. Let's see. And no 4. Let's just see. Here we go. Maybe 110. Shakers? Still very smooth, but maybe we can make it work. Let's see. All right, let's try it. Let's see. All right. What can we get going with these filters? So what I wanted to try is using the expression control, because I didn't want to involve any max for live in the actual library itself, just in case. But what if we add an expression control, and we'll map the mod wheel to the filter frequency. Yeah, okay, so let's see. Let's turn down the reverb a little bit. Oh, okay, no, this is what we want. We don't, what's cool about this actually is the morph. There we go. So morph changes the shape of the filter, which is a really cool feature. That's going to deserve its own little demo moment there. Let's actually just use not the morph filter. We'll use the low pass. Here we go. Okay, and then we'll do expression control over here. And we will map the mod wheel to the filter frequency. Okay. You know what? I don't want to bug out my system here while I'm streaming, so we will bail on that. But that's what we're after. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Okay, so for now, what we'll do is we will close out this stream by checking out the ADSR. Now, these are cool. These are cool. So I'll start with the pluck. So we've got a pluck instrument here. And this is where you can really start to take this instrument into whole new realms. If you crack it open, go into the devices, there's a lot to explore here. So here, check it out. This is Pulse. What do we got? Where was I? We'll do we'll do G minor. We haven't gone G minor. Here we go. So now it's just a very short sound. Maybe we'll turn the delay off. Here we go. So now what we've got is attack and decay control. So this is super cool. Here, in fact, with this one, maybe let's take a different direction. Let's do this. Which, by the way, did anyone know you can do this? This is a great feature. If you've got this little headphone enabled, you can just play the chord and then use the arrow keys to draw it in. Isn't that handy? It's pretty great. Real time saver. Yeah, we'll do that. Nice. This is actually really classic sounding. And now we can kind of treat this almost like a synth in a way. We've got attack and decay control. So like, can increase the attack. We've even got decay slope and attack slope. We've got our random pan behavior still locked in here. We've got delay time. Yeah, sure, TJ. Yeah, this is a good one to jam over. Here, let's get a bass on it first, though. Here, let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Let's take that. In fact, I'll just punch that in. We'll do, because we haven't really done that. We've been playing everything. Let's punch it in. Let's see. Where are we? Here we go. Bon, bon. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's do it. On TJ's request, we'll do it. Let's see. Let's get a new lead. Let's see. Why don't we do... turquoise. It's still my favorite of the ambient electronic kit pack. Let's see. This is funny. I like this one. This one's like almost comical, but it's in a fun way. Yeah. Saint Germain. I love Saint Germain. You're right. It does have that kind of vibe. That's cool. That's actually perfect. That's kind of what I was hoping this would evoke. And let's get a. I need a little pulse here. Yeah, we need a little drive. We need a little driving in the. Oh, you know what we need? Actually, we need this, and then we need this. Here we go. Let's see. Let's get a little action here. Sound dialed in here a little bit. That feels good. Let's do that. Okay, cool. Here we go. Let's do a little solo action. This one's actually pretty hard progression to solo over. Let's see. This one's hard. Alright, I need both hands. Okay, yeah, we'll... Okay, hold on. Let's see. What if we do this? Because this is hard. Because it's three chord. I'm out of practice on stuff like this. Let's see. What if we do this though? What if we Okay, yeah, this will be cool. Let's try this. So we'll duplicate this. What if we do something like this, where we... Okay, yeah, we'll try this. Kind of like a variation of the chord progression that's a little less all over the place. Yeah. So then we got boom, boom, boom. Yeah, this actually works out. This makes sense. Okay. Okay, yeah. And then these go up here. Okay, yeah, this is nice. This is kind of interesting. Okay, so basically now the chord progression is just twice. Oh, you couldn't see that. Sorry. I just made it so that now the chord progression moves half as. It's still moving, but now it's not like every bar. So now we can chill on each one like a little bit longer. So like. There we go. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that's fun. You know what? That's actually a good example too, how there's a difference. Like, I mean, obviously you could solo over anything and certain things are more challenging than others, but it's kind of an interesting point that just came up, that some things are kind of like lend themselves to improvisation more than others. In other words, like you couldn't see it when I did it, so here I'll show you. But the first variation of it was this. So like, it's basically like chord 1, chord 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 with those intermediate notes. So like, was it the abstract solo with the tight solo? So that works, but it's almost kind of like it's like winding the energy up. It almost lends itself, to me at least, obviously it's totally subjective, but to me at least that lends itself to kind of like rhythmic variation and stuff. And then when it comes to and like comping, and then when it comes to soloing, something like this almost kind of makes a little bit more sense. Where now it's chord 1, chord 2. So there's just a little bit more breathing room. Not even a whole lot. We're talking like 3 beats more breathing room. But it allows you to develop a melody. It just, the chord progression leaves a little bit more space for the soloist. And also, it's like bonus points because then they just work well together. Like if that's the solo, then when the solo's over, it can go back to this part. You know, it's like a minor difference, but it feels different, feels more insistent. Yeah. Anyway, that was something that I didn't really wrap my mind around for the longest time. And once I did, it made me practice improvising over difficult things, but then also realize that sometimes the difficulty of improvising over a certain thing is because it might not lend itself the best to improvisation. And like I said, I mean, there's people out there who can improvise over anything and make it sound good, but there's also something to the fact that there's also people who are really great at writing tunes in like a improvised jazz, for lack of a better term, realm, because those people have a knack for understanding that dynamic of what makes a good melody and then how to then deconstruct whatever that framework is for that melody and then leave it open enough for then people to create spontaneous melodies. Anyway, cool concept. Cool way to illustrate that in real time here. But that's a fun one. Okay, so I think we'll make our way to the end here, but these sounds are cool. The ADSR sounds, I haven't really taken a full dive into this yet. I just put a few options together in terms of like plucks, things with slow attacks, and a couple other things, but you could make a ton of different sounds with this because it just becomes a synth at this point. Like, let's keep going here. What if we do, we'll just stick with this for a second. Let's see how we can change this up. So like, let's see. Here's another sound. This one I called marbles. I don't know why. I think it just sounded like little plucks. The one, at least what I was playing with it when I named it. And here's with random pan introduced into it. Yeah, this one's called Vanishing. So now we're just playing with the sample like a synth. We're just manipulating the amplitude envelope of the attack, decay, sustain, and release. So now really the sky's the limit as far as how you can make this sound. But this is really cool. I mean, it definitely has the Rhodes flavor in there. It's still a Rhodes type of sound, but it's no longer evoking that. Yeah, it's starting to just become like a pad or an interesting keyboard sound. So yeah, this library can get really flexible in this way. And I haven't mentioned this, but that's what I'm also looking forward to doing is creating more presets to add to this. So if you grab a copy of this, I'll do a quick plug here for anyone who's maybe new, or I don't know how many people are filtering in and out, so forgive me if you've heard me do the plug over and over, but you know. Here we go. If you grab a copy of this, I have plans to keep developing presets for it and do kind of like have more presets available that you can use off the same sound set. So this is just like the initial stock preset library. There'll be more to that I'll be creating. And now that maybe for anyone who's stuck around for a while here, you can see how there's a lot of possibilities. So I'm going to keep making sounds with this inevitably, and I'll also be doing it intentionally. but I'll also just be encountering them as I continue to make music on the channel and otherwise. And yeah, I'll be offering those as basically expansion packs, or however you want to think of it, like volume 2, an expanded preset pack that will be building off the same instrument. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a gift that keeps giving. So there's that. All right, I'm digging this though. I haven't made something with this kind of vibe ever, I don't think. This is kind of cool. So let's head back here. So those are just 4 initial sounds off of this pluck preset. Let's go to the attack control. So these give you a few more. We've got, these are more focusing on the attack aspect of it. The pluck focuses on the decay parameter more so, and the attack control is a little bit more focused on the attack. So they're basically the same, but they're just, the macro variations are configured for those different purposes. So it's a quick attack, kind of a medium attack, long attack. These are very long, so if we listen to these, we'll get this one quite long. So you can hear they start to become like swells. Could be really useful in like a background context. Some of the bark of that one still came through. So very cool, very useful. But kind of the premier preset of this category is the one labeled just ADSR, because this one you'll see has an expanded macro control. It's got a lot. I think it's using all 16. Yeah, this one's fully loaded here. So this one basically just gives you access to the Rhodes instrument in the form of a synth for the most part. So we've got not just attack and decay, now we've got release and sustain level and the slopes of the attack and the decay and the release, the peak level. So there's a lot here. So let's see, we could do let's see, this one's called clearing fog. Let's see. Yeah, so you can hear now it's like not even a Rhodes at all. Let's turn it up a little bit. That one's cool. Let's see, chamber. Let's see what this one's about. Very short. This one would do well. Hey, what's nice? From Morocco. That's awesome. Wow, that's super cool. Greetings. Glad to have you here. That's awesome. Yeah, so now this one's even more plucky. It makes the bass feel too long even. Very short. But let's just play around with it now. So the presets in this case are kind of there as just a starting points. Really the fun of this preset would be just diving in and using it like a synth. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's mess with some of these parameters here. Oh, that's why it's too quiet. I got my master down a little bit. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Let's mess with the raise the sustain a little bit, and now we've got, it's not just disappearing on us. That's cool. Some reverb. increase the decay. Increase the random pan so it's all over the place now. And you know what? I think what'll really bring us to a synth level, a synth mindset, I guess, rather, is let's bring in the arpeggiator. What's more synthy than an arpeggiator? I mean, that's pretty cool right off the bat there. That's up my alley. Let's see. Let's keep going here. Oh, nice. Florida, Silescence. How is it in Florida? Is it warm? I like this a lot, actually. This one's pretty cool here. Let's see. Let's see, maybe. Yeah, I'm digging this a lot. That's always how it goes. You wish it was colder when it's hot. You wish it was hotter when it's cold. Florida seems like a cool place to be in the winter, though. Yeah, TJ, I agree. It is digging, or it is dancing with the bass there. Let's get some ghosts in here. I'm feeling like we need more groove. Yeah, let's put some ghosts. I love just surrounding the kicks with ghosts. Although we need some swing, but I'll leave it for now. Okay, so this is a cool sound. I'm into this. Let's see, what if we... Let's make the reverb tail really short. Yeah, I'm digging this beat too. This is cool. I did not expect to go in this direction here, but I'm liking it. This is a good one. I think maybe we'll end on this one. This is a good one to end on. Ghost notes are, they bring things to life in such a great way. This is cool. Okay, I like this. I don't want to, let's see, maybe what we can do is, what if we change the pattern of the arpeggiator? Let's just see what happens going down. Let's get some more octaves. That's cool. We've got the high gain and the low gain available to us here too, which are kind of like a subtle filter. Those are on every preset. The low and high gain are on every single preset. Yeah, I agree. It felt, I like, I mean, a lot of these could work really nicely. Let's see, what if we increase the gate? That's cool, and then maybe we can bring back that shortness with the decay. Let's see. Yeah, now we're getting the behavior more from the synth, less than the arpeggiator. like I said, I didn't even think, that wasn't even in my awareness of maybe where this sound could go. The ADSR presets, specifically the ADSR, with that full control of most of the useful parameters in this sense, you could build a whole library of those sounds, and I probably will. That's what I was mentioning in terms of an expansion library and stuff. I imagine I'm going to keep building on this instrument and consider this initial set of presets the kind of like stock presets, where it's leaning into the more, not traditional, but the more, familiar aspects of what a Rhodes can be. And as I continue to explore, and we're going to push it into other realms for sure. So for anyone watching the stream in the future, if you like these sounds, we're gonna add a few more layers to this before we end. But if you like these sounds, JaronLopez.com. 2 links below will take you to the 2 relevant pages. The first one being where you can grab a copy of this Rhodes library of all the sounds I've showed you on this stream. All Rhodes is the name of the instrument. If you're still here by the stream, you know the deal, but this is where you can find it. It's on a discounted rate right now, an introductory rate of $15. It's not going to go, it's not going to be much more expensive, but this is kind of just like the introduction rate. So that anyone who's kind of a fan of the channel and who's supported, I want to make sure everyone can get it without, having to bend over backwards in terms of the price tag. Because that's the kind of vibe we got here. We're just a community of musicians. We're trying to make cool stuff. We're trying to make cool sounds. That's what we're doing here. So this is all Rhodes. And then if you have enjoyed the bass sound you're hearing right now, or any of the other of the lead sound we've explored today, we didn't dive deeply into it, although you can find streams and videos featuring the ambient electronic preset pack for Ableton's analog, which, quick note, the All Rhodes preset works with every version of Ableton as early as 9.5, and but the ambient electronic preset pack only works with version 11.0.12 or newer. Just FYI, that is clearly labeled here, but just wanted to mention that so it's not misconstrued. And you can get both of these, All Rhodes and the ambient electronic bundle, here as a pack at a quite discounted rate. And yes, there's also other fun stuff on the project on the store on the website JaronLopez.com. Hit the store, and there's samples, there's project files, there's some MIDI packs, and there's a lot more fun stuff to come. So check it out there. You can also sign up to take a lesson on the lesson page here. You can also hire me as a session musician. There's a lot you can do. You can join the Patreon. There's a ton you can do to get involved here. But today we're talking about All Rhodes and the ambient electronic kit. Go check them out. And on that note, let's add a couple more things here. I'm liking the idea. Why don't we add one of those let's add another Rhodes sound, because this now is functioning like a synth basically. So why don't we get a Rhodes in the mix that we can play as more of a keyboard? Let's see, why don't we go back to our let's do our grand. Oh, and there's one more thing I want to mention that I didn't cover, which is there is an initial preset in the initial folder. This is just a unprocessed, excuse me. This is a version of the sound that has no effects. This is just the raw sample implemented as an instrument, as either a simpler or a sampler. So if you want to build your own sounds, if you're like, this is cool, but I've got my own vision of how I want it to sound, this seems like a good starting point, load up the initial preset and you can build your own sound from scratch. Obviously, you could then use all sorts of third-party processing and effects on top of this. So thank you, Silescence. So initial is there for you to build your own presets if you've got, you know, all other types of sound devices that you want to bring in besides the built-in Ableton ones. That's what that's for. Okay, so let's go back to the, I'm feeling like let's go to the grand. I like the grand. Let's do that. Let's do grand and let's do the random pan. That's the mood I'm in right now. And let's see what happens. We got quite a bit going on in the computer right now, so maybe I'll actually lower the buffer just a tad. Oop. Apologies. Should have hit pause first, my bad. All right, let's see. So we've got the ADSR going, and now we've got the grand Rhodes. I like how it sounded too, but maybe let's put a little vibrato on it. I like the vibrato. Let's see. Here we go. Let's turn the reverb down a little bit. Here we go. Cool. I like that one. Something's missing though. What do we need? I feel like, you know what it is? You know where I want to go? Let's chill on this chord progression. Let's see. Let's make this, and then we'll vibe on this. I think this is a good place to end. There's a lot of commotion in this right now. Yes, you can see this. Okay. Here we go. So let's create one more variation. And this time we're just going to stick in one key and we're going to go to the ambient stuff. Nice. Okay, cool. It's great to hear that the sounds are that you're digging the sounds. I've spent the past couple weeks kind of buried in sampler trying to get them to shine. So that's really nice to hear. Yeah, I really like the grand Rhodes. I do. I like it a lot. I'm going to be using that one. Probably that's going to be my main sound for a bit now. Okay, let's see. So we've got G minor. What if we just stay here and we go like, instead of going chromatically, Yeah, we keep it kind of in the key. So that means we'll need maybe to go... Let's see. It's kind of funny sounding. Okay, yeah, so we want F. We'll do C. This will be weird. This might be kind of weird, but we'll try it. We'll go with it. A. We want A. And then G. Okay, yes. And then same deal here. This is a very funny way of funny sound while editing MIDI. Okay, interesting. Yeah, maybe actually this will just stay up here. The wizard music pad, yeah. This is a fun, very comical kind of sound. Little interlude. This will be a nice. This is definitely a nice palette cleanser here. All right, I think we're good. Let's see. Oh, and then let's change up. We'll change up our bass line a tad. We don't need to change it a whole lot though. I don't think. Basically, I locked everything into one key. Before we were still migrating around to a whole bunch of different kind of keys. So now we can go back to our ultra ambient, because that's what I'm kind of digging here. We'll still use the grand. So every one of these categories still has a normal and a grand and a random pan. So it's kind of like the underlying structure of the different uses of the samples in the libraries. You've got one that's centered, you've got one where you can control the random panning from center, you've got grand where it has that simulation of the acoustic instrument, and then you can randomize the pan of that, and then obviously the different treatments of it on a processing level allow you to really use those different structures within different formats and different vibes. Let's see what do we got here. That's what I wanted. I wanted to use something where we could really just kind of lean into the ambience here. Let's see. That's what I was feeling. That's what I'm craving right now. Satisfying. Just one note can be enough. Let's dial back the reverb 20. Let's see. What if we layer the turquoise sound, the lead from the ambient electronic preset pack, with this Rhodes? Let's see what happens. This might be nice. This might be really nice. Let's see. Cool. That's... satisfying, and it makes me now that we have the clarity of that flute-ish sound, I want to add the reverb back to the Rhodes. Here we go. Let's see. Maybe even some more delay. Yeah, let's get really wild with it here. Let's see. Filter. Like cut the lows out. Is that what you're saying? Satisfying. I want to hear the synth Rhodes now with a filter. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot. Especially with the little vibrato, a little subtle wobble. I was enjoying when I was making this, playing with the lo-fi kind of qualities, but not making it sound like it's lo-fi. Just bringing kind of that flavor in, but not making it even obvious that it's there. More modulation than like pitch wobble. But right on the edge, you know, kind of in between the two. Nice. Let's see. liking that. I could just keep playing that. Nice. Yeah. Well, yes, Silescence, Celestial. I can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with Celestial. It's always a good ending. Well, thank you guys for hanging. This was a nice solid stream here. We've been going for like 4 hours. That's great. That's what I wanted to do today. Just kind of share these sounds, whether you end up, whether anyone picks up a copy or not. I'm glad you've been here. I'm glad I got to share these sounds with you. Because, just like making music is fun and a form of kind of exuding, imprinting your imagination onto something. I've really found that making these sounds is another facet to that. It's really fun to kind of craft sounds. You got something in your head and kind of create an instrument in this digital virtual realm here that we all play with. Not all of us, but that so many of us play with, tinker with, dwell in these days. So thanks for being here. Yeah. Well, you know what? I was going to play down all the sketches we did, but that was such a nice soft landing for me personally, just internally. I'm like, that felt nice. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And maybe we'll revisit these in one of the videos that'll come out this week. Maybe they'll make it into the kind of a quote unquote official demo video. We'll see. But thank you guys for being here. Thanks for your input. Thanks for being part of the inspiration here. Yeah, great to have you in the chat, TJ. It's awesome. Yeah, you gave me a bit of you gave me a bit of a jazz band flashback there with the jamming out over that chord progression. That was fun. Cool. Well, I know you guys have heard it a handful of times now, but just for the sake of anyone coming to the stream or scanning through, the sounds are here for the taking. I'm sharing them with you for a small fee. They're the 2 links in the description. The first one will take you here to All Rhodes, where you can check out the demos. You can read about what's actually entailed. I'll probably add some more images as to what you'll get here in the future. And if you want the bass sound, the lead sound, there's pads, there's a whole bunch of sounds with also the same kind of macro variations implemented in the ambient electronic preset pack. And you can get both of those together in the second link underneath this video in the description. And that is what is up. All right. Well, you all have a great rest of your evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it might be. We got people from all over. Shout out to Morocco, to Florida, to Maryland. I'm assuming. I don't know though. Maybe TJ, are you still in Maryland? I'm not sure. I shouldn't assume. But wherever you are, all of you, thanks for being here. And yeah, we will. Absolutely, Cam do. Nice, TJ. Cool. All right. Well, let's see. I will let this play out. I'll play the demos again at the end at the end of the stream here, and yeah, I will catch you guys on the channel. You all have a great one.